high school basketball, ASU men's club hockey, and ASU women's club hockey. Your home for all the action, right here on Inferno TV.
And scores!
It's been 6 long months, but finally, hockey is back here in Tempe, Arizona. A State 48 rivalry ready to go here inside beautiful Mullett Arena. Welcome everybody here on a rainy Sunday afternoon. Weather outside might be frightful, but in here it is quite delightful. He's Kobe Bronstein. I'm Lachlan McTagg, taking you through all of the action here today for the Arizona State Women's Club Hockey home opener, this being their 10th season of competition. So glad to bring you all the coverage here today on Inferno TV. And Kobe, 10th year for the Sun Devils, 2nd season of competition for the Wildcats. I know we're going to have to wait a couple more weeks before the Territorial Cup engages on the gridiron here in Tempe, but we got a State 48 battle of our own here on the ice.
These are always the marquee matchups, everything you look forward to each season long in the offseason, all that training, all the hard work being put into it. These two teams colliding for the first time this season, and fresh legs for Arizona State. They have yet to play a game. This is their home opener here at home at beautiful Mullett Arena. And for the Arizona Wildcats, a pretty good start to their season. They're 3-1 coming into today's game. We'll see if they can maintain that momentum against the Sun Devils.
Ice being cleaned here as we take a look at some players to watch, starting with Arizona State, Kobe, and it's the captain, Sam Murphy.
I mean, what more is there to say about Sam Murphy, the native of Ottawa, Ontario, the all-time leader in points, goals, assists? I mean, everything you need to hear, you see right there on your screen. A point-per-game pace, fresh legs for her coming into the season, which is her final one of eligibility. She's a graduate student looking to put everything on the line in her final year.
She will lead the Sun Devils this season, spearheading what they hope will be another track to the national tournament. That is months away. They look to just get the victory here today. On the other side for the Arizona Wildcats, although they haven't beat the Sun Devils, they came close last year in an overtime loss here in Tempe. And a player to watch, a former Sun Devil and now team captain of the Wildcats.
Yeah, huge familiar face, a ton of former teammates on the other side, but she's gotten used to playing them just a little bit. That's 7 points in her first 4 games. She's gotten off to a really quick start, as has her Wildcats team, and she was named captain ahead of this season. So once again, Brittany Bridell primed for an impeccable season, but this time for the Wildcats instead of the Sun Devils.
University of Arizona went 6-12, 3-1 in their opening season in the WWCHL. ASU last year went 15-7-2 across all competitions. They're freshly an independent in the club hockey realm and looking to get back to another national tournament. And, you know, Kobe, in talking to Sam Murphy at their charity golf tournament, they have their hopes set really, really high, and they're playing, I believe, 12 potential ranked opponents this season. They have a big East Coast road trip, but it all starts here today in Tempe.
It's just a lot of excitement going on, coming off of a really good season last year, bringing on back a number of different returners, including Sam Murphy. She's just that focal point that everybody looks towards, and again, that point-per-game pace, and she's certainly going to be leading the way, and high hopes coming into the season, energy and excitement at an all-time high, and it's all going to collide in just a matter of moments here at Mullett.
And between the pipes today is a familiar face. You mentioned the returners. It'll be Quinn Eatinger for Arizona State, and I believe to be Olivia Sorley, the sophomore from Jamestown, North Dakota, for the University of Arizona. Teams set to take the ice. Introductions and national anthems will follow here at Mullett Arena. We'll be right back after this break. Puck drop on the other side. We'll see you on the other side of this break. Player introductions and national anthems are out of the way, and it's time for hockey here at Mullett Arena. Starting lineups for the visiting Arizona Wildcats. It'll be Brittany Bridell, Layla Schultz, and Kenzie Carson up front. It'll be Alana Grover and Rylan Pesca on defense for the Wildcats. And between the pipes, the aforementioned Olivia Sorley. On the other side for Arizona State, Paige Ring, Sam Murphy, and Kylie Brown will start up front. Mara Draper and Kate Streak will be starting on the back end, and Quinn Eatinger will be between the pipes, as she has so often frequented throughout her Sun Devil career. So excited that you can join us for the first Inferno TV broadcast of the season, beginning Arizona State's 10th season of competition. And Kobe, both these teams have taken different tracks so far, as we're about set to go here. As U of A's already played, this will be their 5th game, and Arizona State just 7 weeks of practice leading up to this, no game action to this point.
Yeah, I mean, according to what you hear on paper, certainly the Arizona Wildcats have their legs under them. They're in game shape, and maybe some nervous energy for the Sun Devils coming into it. Obviously, great season a year ago, and I'm sure they're very excited.
Puck on the stick of Mara Draper as she takes it into her own zone. Draper surveys, misses Kylie Brown, but the puck goes all the way out of the zone. Foot race now as Sam Murphy tries to win it against Pesca. Murphy using her body to shield the puck. She goes into the wall, forgets the puck there as it's rimmed around a Streak near side. In some Wildcat feet, now they'll break away with it. Glover up ice. She gets center and dumps it just high of the goal and wide of Eatinger. Brown. Over to Streak. Streak banks it up the wall. It's a little self-pass, good evasive maneuver by the defenseman, but she turns it over the neutral zone, controlled by the Wildcats. Now Verteber. Too far for, it looked like McKegg there. Is behind the goal, it's Hannah Coons. Coons in the slot, turns it over, dangerous area, shot off the goal, rebound is loose in the slot, on the stick of the Sun Devils, Paige Ring. She goes off glass and out. Now Verteber couldn't corral it. Bree Powell beats her to that puck in the corner. Powell cuts back on her backhand. Shielding it, cycles it, but no one home for ASU. It'll go to Georgia Dezane. Dezane for Powell in the high slot. That puck popped off her stick and promptly cleared by U of A. Coons retrieves for the Sun Devils. She banks it up. Now Label surveys. She tries a shot on goal. Now behind the goal, it's Davini. One of the newer Sun Devils, a transfer. Cam Davini cycles it down low for Label. Label shielding the puck. Back to Dezane. On her forehand, walks to the middle. Shot just wide of the goal. Aggressive forecheck by the Sun Devils, trying to get it back. Now finally, it's Lily Howell who gets it out. Another marquee player for the Wildcats, I should say. Led the team in goals last season, returns for another season of competition here. Pesca. Too far for Glover. Glover backtracking, goes strong side. Good pinch by Kristoff, keeping the puck in for ASU. Leavelle. It's a pair of Wildcats on her, but somehow gets that puck out of the troubled area. Wildcats turn it over and will head up ice with Glover.
A lot of the offense on both sides have been created off of turnovers.
Talked about that nervous energy beforehand as Evelyn Olsen starts this puck out as Liv Leavelle takes it over the pitchfork. Dumps it in as Verteber couldn't corral it, and her feet goes all the way back below the goal line. Weak pass over to Savannah Allen, plays catch with Verteber. She's got it on her forehand, goes off glass. High stick knocked down by Murphy, and she'll touch it up. That'll be the first whistle of this hockey game.
A slow start for Arizona State, but they had a prime opportunity right in front of the net of the Wildcats and needed a ricochet. No one home on the weak side to try to rebound it home. Can certainly see that nervous energy for the Sun Devils, and just about every player has touched the ice so far.
Face off to the left of Eatinger. Scramble draw now controlled. Could be a potential break here. Kylie Brown up ice. She's got some space. Here's Brown. Shot save made by Sorley. Rebound on the stick of Ring. It's still loose. Now it pops to Streak. Over to Paige Ring. She fanned on that shot, but is able to cycle it down low. Layla Schultz is there, clears it as far as Ring. Schultz battling with Brown. She wins that potential 3-on-2 breaking for the Wildcats if they hurry. Bridell on her backhand, stops up, feeds it in the middle. She's got a player, it's Schultz. She couldn't corral that as it goes behind the goal. Good back check by the winger, Kylie Brown. Murphy has space, she'll take it in her own end, up to through the neutral zone. She didn't get center red before she dumped it in. Icing waved off as it looked to hit a Wildcat on its way into the U of A end. Chipped up and got out effectively there by Layla Schultz. Hannah Coons skates back. It'll go the length of the ice. That's an icing call here with 16:21 left to go in period number 1.
Yeah, if you thought a couple minutes ago ASU had their best opportunity, it came just about a minute ago. Had to break up the ice, and really nice stick save by Sorley for the Wildcats.
Schultz and Powell to do battle in the dot. Powell wins it back cleanly to Dezane. Dezane playing her offhand, feeds it to Coons on the left side. Now back to Dezane, top of the point. Good block there by Schultz. Or check that, that's Lily Howell. But she's hounded by 3 Sun Devils. Couldn't get a partial break opportunity as ASU back checks efficiently. Sun Devils clear it as far as Pesca. She tries to bank that for McKegg. McKegg and Coons battling in the center dot. Now picked up by Powell momentarily. It was knocked off her stick by Howell. Now Bree Powell has space, shot. Left pad save made by Sorley.
She's been tested early and has stood tall.
Knocked down below the goal line by Evelyn Olsen. No penalty on the play. Again, the rule book says no hitting in women's hockey, but contact certainly allowed. A lot of contact there below the goal line. Referees keeping their arms down for now as that one squirts in on Eatinger. She elects to cover up. That'll be a face-off to her left. Third line out is Evelyn Olsen, Taylor Bromeyer, and Paige Bryan for Arizona State. Now it's taken in the corner by Ruby DeLees. Back up to Verderber. Cycles it down low near side for Brydell. Couldn't corral that as Paige Bryan tries to get that puck out. She could not. Now thrown on goal. Brydell couldn't tip that one. It goes in towards the half wall. DeLees gets knocked to the ice. A lot of contact in that corner. Burromeyer goes down. No penalty on the play. That was Kenzie Carson delivering a good shoulder check in the corner. Puck rimmed around for the aforementioned Carson, too far for her. Now Verderber cycles it down low. Nobody home for U of A. Madeline Kristoff will have to race to this puck and chip it out. She gets it towards the stick of Paige Bryan. 1-on-3, waiting for a teammate. She wraps it around in front, and it is cleared away by Savannah Allen. Could have been a dangerous chance, something out of seemingly nothing almost created by the Sun Devils, as Streak will hold this in at the left point. Walks on her forehand, circles it back down low. Looking for Kenzie Olsen. No relation between Evelyn and Kenzie, or Kelsey Olsen, I should say, excuse me. Kelsey Olsen, a native of Peoria, Arizona as well. She tries to get that puck out on the near side as Olsen, but cannot. Howell in the middle for McKegg. Pop the stick of Draper and has it. In the middle, that was Talia Saarinen, who was streaking in the slot. Couldn't get that puck on her stick. Could have been a dangerous chance for U of A. Touched up by ASU. First penalty of the game goes to the Sun Devils. Really a 2-minute minor for hooking. As Kelsey Olsen will sit in the box. The Wildcats get the first look at their power play here this afternoon, Kobe.
And not only that, but they've been able to practice it game in and game out. Now game number 5 for the Wildcats, and a little test early on for the Sun Devils to see how they can kill in the special teams.
Draw one back, but poked ahead by Murphy. Good job by her as she gets it down into the Wildcat end. Heavy pressure from Arizona State. It's Kylie Label in the corner.
Wouldn't mind just continuing to eat up clock as it was pinned.
Look how aggressive Murphy is down there as the Sun Devils will have this puck on their stick. It's Hannah Coons. She's all alone, surrounded by Wildcats, and now they'll go the other way. ASU changing as well. Here's Verderber on her backhand. I believe that was Lily Howell getting a little bit ahead of the play. That's offside. Stops the clock. Minute 26 remaining on the power play for U of A.
Sun Devils didn't really have to do that much in order to keep the puck down on their own end. It was mostly the miscues from the Wildcats. You think it would be the opposite early on, but Arizona looking to apply pressure on their own end in the power play.
Savannah Allen gets this puck back, and she banks it for Kenzie Carson. Skates into the Sun Devil end, but immediately stick checked by Bree Powell and company. Mara Draper now goes strong side on her forehand. That's blocked effectively by Pesca. Pesca has a shot, but it's blocked by Mara Draper. Now here come the Sun Devils. Potential break here as Bree Powell goes one-on-one with Allen. Toe drag on her backhand now. Powell shovels it towards the goal and sticked away by Sorley.
Great move for her to shield off the ASU defender there. Just couldn't get enough mustard on the backhand.
Now Jeffs back to McKegg. Tries to circle it in the corner, but Kate Streak is there and clears it as far as Verderber in neutral ice. Verderber gets it back on the near side, looking for an outlet. Finds McKegg. She elects to just recycle this. Now it's Verderber. Looking cross ice. Good puck movement in the neutral zone by the Wildcats trying to enter the ASU end. Knocked down immediately there. Potential chance here. In the slot. Shot on goal, but it's gobbled up by Quinn Eatinger. 23 seconds remain on the U of A power play.
Yeah, as you alluded to, really good puck movement in the neutral zone. I think what would suit Arizona even more well in this power play is just to get the puck all the way down in their own zone, being able to create opportunities, have people crash the net.
Haven't had a ton of sustained zone time.
No.
Speaking of, Anna Coons clears this 200 feet. Sorley stops it and will leave it for Anna Glover. Or Alana Glover, check that. No arm in the air, a lot of contact with the stick, potential hooking call on the way, but referee's arm stays down. Now stretch pass. Kylie Label couldn't get that on her stick. Good seeing eye feed from Hannah Coons in the neutral zone. Coons trying to seal the wall as Bridell clears it up strong side. She gets it back on her stick, sticked away by Coons. Puck will stay in, it's Paige Ring. Moves by one defender, cycles it down low for Murphy. Lifts the stick of Verderber. No penalty on the play. Verderber seems to be shaken up. She's skating to the bench slowly. Now here's Mia Jarvis. Jarvis. Past a player, now in the middle for Brown. Outlets far side for Paige Ring. Ring fires low. Sorley scoops it up, but sticks it away to the corner. Berlmeyer on the half wall. Back for Kristoff. Walks to the middle. That puck got off her stick momentarily, but Berlmeyer finds it high slot. Now working near side. Berlmeyer looking for an option, finds Brown. Brown fires one towards the net. Glove save made by Olivia Sorley.
A lot of positives to take for Arizona State on that penalty kill. Arizona Wildcats didn't really have any good opportunities on net. And not only that, but the Sun Devils were able to create some opportunities of their own.
Now right off the draw, quick shot by Evelyn Olsen. That hit the skates, I believe, Josia Miller. U of A trying to break out. Boy, look at the forecheck of ASU, sending two players right below the goal line. Lindsay Ellis has been known to be aggressive, and sometimes you can get chances like this. Potential odd man opportunity, 2-on-1 breaking in front. Shot save made by Eatinger with the blocker.
What a pass there.
Josia Miller had a golden opportunity for U of A, their best of the game by far. Now shot just wide of the goal from the point. Now wraparound chance. Eatinger didn't know where that puck was, but luckily for her, the Sun Devils get it out. Here's Paige Bryan. Bryan 1-on-4, shoots it towards the net, off the glove of Sorley. Sophie Thompson and Paige Bryan doing battle. Thompson cross-checks her to the ice, arm up. Now here's Streak, fires, glove save made, rebound, puck is still loose. Whistle went prematurely by the looks of it. But it's okay, it'll be all right for the Sun Devils. They're going on the power play. So it'll be Sophie Thompson, 2 minutes for a cross-check, and as I mentioned, her and Paige Bryan, I should say, were battling it in front of the net, and just an undisciplined penalty, Kobe, just an ill-advised cross-check to the back.
Yeah, at that point, after their little scrum next to the net, they were both back up on their feet, and that ill-advised penalty now gives the Sun Devils a huge opportunity. But what an opportunity that the Wildcats had. Just a little slap pass towards the net. Anything you get towards the net can create those type of chances.
First look at this power play here as Kylie Brown has tons of space. Right circle, fires. Great glove save by Olivia Sorley. She saw it the whole way and made a nice save.
She's looked brilliant so far. She's keeping her team in it.
The aforementioned Brown will take the faceoff for Arizona State. Kicked back by the Wildcats, but Cam Davini is there. Back to the top of the point for Kuntz. Nifty little behind the back pass to Brown. Brown will fire this puck, and it's gobbled up once again. There was a rebound loose for a moment, but Sun Devils couldn't get anyone towards the goal.
Yeah, Schultz for the Wildcats was kind of daring her to shoot it. She was backing up and able to get that wrister on net, and another good stop by Sorley.
Schultz and Brown. Schultz wins another draw. Pesca now tries to clear. Hit a Sun Devil, but now they try to get it by Coons. Puck not out. Coons lost her stick momentarily. I'm not sure how this puck is staying in the zone, but remarkably, Hannah Coons and company keep it in.
Good poke
now
check.
It comes out of the zone. Schultz Shot on goal. Ettinger gobbles it up. Doesn't quite flash the leather. Could be playing center field potentially there with how she caught that puck, but a face-off will come in the Sun Devil end. Minute 14 left on their power play. Murphy wins the draw back. Draper tried to advance it up ice. Now Bryan, cross ice for Powell. All kinds of space up the middle. Brie Powell working. Gains the zone and stops up. Surveys goes to Murphy on that cross ice. Diamond formation being set up now. Murphy to Powell, shot. It's up in the air in the crease, loose, rebound. They whack away at it. Now Powell has it in the slot. Great pad saved by Sorley.
She's seeing everything right now.
Draper. A little behind the back pass to Powell. Powell across for Murphy. That was just behind her. She gets the carom off the boards. Murphy works top of the point now. Brie Powell left side. Blocker save made by Sorley. Held in by Mara Draper momentarily. Oh, close call there, and now a delayed whistle. So Draper was walking almost to the top of the point in the middle of the offensive zone before that whistle went, but that'll be offside. 23 seconds remain on the power play.
Yeah, I think what caught her a little off guard was one of the defensemen was going back to change and trying to do it as quick as possible, and as a result, no one on that right point. She couldn't really circle the puck to anyone, and as a result, lost her footing and her positioning on the ice and got the offsides.
So 23 seconds to go here on the man advantage for ASU. They bring back out that top unit. Interesting strategy here is usually with less than 30 to go, you bring out a normal forward unit with two defensemen, but Hannah Coon's the lone defenseman on the ice. See if they try to take advantage here. Now in the middle, Berlmeyer has an opportunity from the high slot. Shot it just wide. Now cleared the length of the ice by Savannah Allen. And U of A is back at full strength. Boy, bend but don't break there, Kobe.
Both penalty kills have done their job.
Coon's doing battle now down low. A chance for U of A as Anna Jeffs runs over Ettinger. She's still down on the ground. Shot from the top of the point is blocked by Berlmeyer. Whistle goes, and Ettinger a little shaken up on that play. Doesn't look any worse for wear.
Doesn't look phased at all.
Strange scenario played out as all of a sudden U of A had a chance at the goal mouth on Ettinger, and then she got ran over into her own net.
She did. Standing tall are both goalies. Sorley has been spectacular on the other end.
Face off to the right of Quinn Ettinger. Taken over by U of A, but turned over immediately. Kenzie Olsen cutting towards the middle. Now back to the top of the point. Streak. Slap shot intentionally wide of the goal. Rebound. Oh my goodness, what a save. Did Olivia Sorley stop that? Now in the slot. Another great save by Sorley. That time on Kenzie Olsen. Robbed her of her first as a Sun Devil. Kelsey Olsen looking for Leavelle in the high slot. Intercepted by U of A. Cleared the length of the ice. I don't believe that hit a stick or a skate. And that'll come 200 feet down the other way. U of A cannot change. Some tired bodies on the ice for the Wildcats as the Sun Devils will have an offensive zone face-off.
And for ASU on the weak side, what a fortuitous bounce right in front of Sorley, and somehow she was able to keep it out of her own net. And she wasn't done there because the Sun Devils had more opportunities on goal. She has been standing her ground. The clear running away MVP of the game so far, keeping her team in it, is Sorley.
Murphy and Schultz to the right of Olivia Sorley. Figuring out who was actually on the ice when that icing was called. So another gutsy face-off win by Schultz. She's been terrific all afternoon so far. Murphy backhanded towards the goal, sticked away by Sorley. Schultz gets it out. It's over the stick of Draper. No icing as it's waved off by the official. Draper behind her goal has time, stops up and surveys. Now looking for Murphy, now ring near side. Murphy trudging towards the goal. Sam Murphy in alone. Great save by Sorley. A phenomenal glove save by the goaltender. Now this is cleared foot race at the other end, and Kate Streak just gets there in the nick of time. Another icing on U of A. Boy, a lot of tired bodies out there once again for the Wildcats.
It's just Arizona State applying pressure, just laser focused right now, and the Wildcats have had a number of turnovers, and Sorley has had to stand strong time and time again, and that was perhaps her toughest opportunity to try to keep it out of her own net. What a job she has done so far.
Davini off the draw. Rebound is loose. Powell had a whack at it, but Olivia Sorley, once again, is there to make a terrific save.
Just a wall. An absolute brick wall she has been so far. And the Sun Devils have done a great job of getting the puck on net any way they can. They've had a couple of bounces go in their favor, but some great shots too.
Now Coons over to DeZane. Good puck movement here from ASU, sticked away by Sorley. Powell has it, now back up top for DeZane. D to Coons. Coons down low for Davini. Circles it for Label, looking for Davini on the return feed, just too far for her. U of A goes the other way. Now McKegg. Coons steps up. Good stick check there from the defenseman. ASU able to go the other way, 2-on-2. Label for Davini. Sticked away by Savannah Allen and company for U of A. Back for Coons in the neutral zone. She'll go for a skate, takes this up the middle and has space. Hannah Coons on her forehand. Great save by Olivia Sorley. .551 remaining here in period number 1 on Inferno TV. Still no score. Erlmeyer to take the faceoff for ASU. Now Verderber gets it on her forehand, clears it as far as Jarvis. Jarvis on her offhand, walking in, fires that hit Waxenberg. Good block from her. Now down low, looking in front for Berlmeyer. Couldn't get that pass. That was Evelyn Olsen on the feed. Jarvis, another good keep at the blue line. And this play alive, bouncing puck just escapes the Sun Devil end. Jarvis in the neutral zone. Over to Berlmeyer. Taps it on her backhand, but Savannah Allen wins that race. Allen. Good forecheck by Olsen, but Allen able to get it back. Over to Miller. Fan on that pass momentarily, looking cross ice for Waxenberg. Return feed for Miller. She couldn't get by Leavell, now does. Now DeLee's up the strong side. In the middle for Olsen, able to evade the check of Carson, but U of A sends it back into the Sun Devil end. Eatinger plays it for Jarvis behind the goal. Tries to stop up on her forehand, but good stick check by the Wildcat captain, Brittany Bridell. She's been driving the bus offensively for U of A. See if she and her teammates can get anything going. Not a lot of sustained offensive zone time from U of A, even on their power play. Sun Devils have controlled possession to this point so far in the first period. Kate Streak, good outlet pass in the middle. Sophie Sears tripped up, arm stays down as Sears dumps this in. Pesca on her backhand touches up, arm will go up. So I was wrong for a moment.
Yeah, the backside referee had the call on that one. Another power play for the Sun Devils.
I need to improve my peripheral vision, it seems. U of A penalized once again here. It'll be a trip. So ASU 4:23 left in period number 1, looking for the first goal of this hockey game here. They'll go back on the man advantage.
Layla Schultz in the box for 2 minutes for tripping.
Key loss for them. She's been brilliant in the faceoff dot as well for U of A. Good faceoff win by the Wildcats. They clear at 200 feet. So Coons restarts behind her own goal. No one is attacking for U of A. 3 across the red line, 1 defender at the blue line. Giving them all kinds of space as Paige Bryan looks in the middle, but Lily Howell breaks that one up. Now Berlmeyer goes wide. Here's Davini. Davini on her offhand, backhand in the slot. Brown shot, scores! Kylie Brown, top shelf. ASU has broken the ice, finally, here in the first period. Who else but Kylie Brown, a wicked wrister, it's 1-0.
Yeah, what a setup. That time from Arizona State, able to get it just in front of the crease, and beautiful opportunity to slot it home past Sorley, who's been so good. And that's what happens when you have penalties like that for the Wildcats. You get in a little bit of trouble, and Arizona State capitalized.
Boy, right off the draw, Sam Murphy with an aggressive takedown of Anna Jeffs. No call on the play. Top line out for ASU as here's Ring in the middle for Brown. Right back on it. Kylie Brown, we've seen so many times her go high glove, and it works out once again. U of A breaking out 1-on-2. Lily Howell trying to create something, but ASU standing strong on the defensive side of the puck. Now Howell for Schultz. Cross for Bridell. Goes back in skates of Glover. Turned over as Kate Streak, the defenseman. As teammates changing, her and Mara Draper will play catch in their own end. Draper turns back and stays patient. Very passive forecheck as they elect to just play catch, her and Streak. On her backhand, stops up. Bree Powell tries to chip it by Pesca, cannot do so. Sun Devils possessing the puck in their own end, now turn it over to Bridell. Down low for Pesca. Shoveled back to Bridell at the top of the point, looking for a lane, fired in on goal, but it's blocked on the way there. Draper holds it behind her net. Now Ring tries to chip it by, and she just barely gets it out, past a pinching Pesca. She gets it back, but it exploded off her tape there. Couldn't corral it on her backhand. Schultz back in her own end for U of A. Pesca on the near half wall. Battle ensues in the near corner. 3-on-3 there. Sun Devils appear to come out with it for now as Kuhn cycles it back down low. Glover. It's a return feed from her winger now. Feeds Pesca. Pesca up to Waxenberg, met by Taylor Burlmeyer right away. Neutral zone turnover by the Wildcats. ASU will possess the puck. Coons couldn't corral it on her backhand. DeZane gets it. Eatinger elects to hold it first as DeZane couldn't get there in time. 1:42 remaining, 1-0 Arizona State off that Kylie Brown snipe.
And back and forth we go. I think Arizona State has been the faster team. Whenever they have had the puck in their control, they've been able to keep it in their zone a little bit longer and create those opportunities. And man, that goal was just textbook for Arizona State on the power play. That's the only goal so far of the game.
And you had to think they had enough grade A opportunities. They had to have scored on one.
Yeah. Yeah, if Sorley kept a shutout going into the second period, that certainly would have been something. Arizona State again finally on the board.
Turnover, look out. Here's Shastevez in front, and dangerous chance. Cannot be converted by Allison Brady. Great save by Eatinger.
A rare turnover from the Sun Devils in their defensive zone. And once again, Eatinger standing tall.
Well, it just gives you so much confidence, doesn't it, knowing you have a goaltender like Eatinger back there between the pipes.
Absolutely experienced, very durable.
Battle on the far side. Burlmeyer gets it out. Now Evelyn Olsen skates onto it. Plenty of Wildcats back as it's going to be tough for ASU to materialize any offense. Shot towards the goal. A turned over high slot, sticked away by Sorley. Olsen tried to get a stick on it while the puck was on its way to the goal mouth. Kristoff hit from behind. Arms stay down. Potentially a dangerous hit there by U of A. Not called as McKegg gets it. Kristoff couldn't cut off that pass. McKegg, outlet too far. It was Anna Jeffs she was looking for. ASU restarts another turnover. Kristoff had that puck go behind her skate. She couldn't get it. Now Lily Howell gets knocked to the ice by Kelsey Olsen. A big hit being delivered. Boy, refs are letting a lot go here. Kristoff behind the goal line. ASU electing to just hold this puck. See if it burns him here. Backhand shot in the slot. Eliminated by Kristoff. Clock will tick down here on period number 1. That will do it for the opening 20 here at Mullett Arena. A Kylie Brown power play marker has the Sun Devils up 1-0. So 23 shots on goal in the opening period.
We were looking for that number. 23 is a ridiculous number. 22 of 23 is Olivia Sorley. That's insane that the this is just a 1-0 advantage. Sun Devils have clearly been pressing a lot more than the Wildcats, and the fact that Arizona is still in it is a big thanks to Olivia Sorley, who stood so tall all game long.
Both teams will get a well-deserved rest here after 20 minutes of play. 1-0 Sun Devils here on Inferno TV. We'll take a quick break. Intermission report will be next. Don't go anywhere. 1-0 Sun Devils after 1 period of play. Welcome to the first period intermission report here on Inferno TV. I'm Lachlan McTagg, and joined alongside me here is Chase Beardsley. First of all, Chase, thank you very much for joining me here in the intermission report. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
So 1-0 Sun Devils at the end of 20 minutes of play here, and what do you think that the Sun Devils did well? Obviously, they generated 23 shots on goal, a remarkable number for any team in any period.
You know, I thought the power play looked really good out there, especially, you know, this is their first game back. Quite a lot of new players on the team, too, and a lot of good top players in the team. So I think watching them over the past couple weeks practice, that's something they've really emphasized is their power play. Just the way it's been connecting, had a lot of chances, and I think they've looked good. And also Quinn Ainger net, you know, again, it's been a while since she's played. Had an internship over the summer, so I know she didn't have as much ice time as, you know, normal, but she looked excellent out there whenever Arizona had opportunities.
And yeah, you mentioned the inactivity early on. It's the fall break here officially for Arizona State students, and that means the halfway point of the semester, but you go half a semester without playing games. This is the 5th game for U of A. They're in shape, they're ready to go, they're sharp. And for ASU, did you see any kind of nervous energy or mental errors potentially that were a byproduct of not playing games yet?
You know, interestingly enough, not too much. I look at last year compared to this year, and last year, obviously, they had half the team was new, and I think you could see like the jitters when they started. But right now, what you see right here, I don't think anyone's nervous at all. Of course, that helps when you have a lot of transfers who have played higher levels of hockey on their lineup, and I think that really helps their experience and how they're playing out there right now.
And there was a game last year that went to overtime. It was an instant classic here on Inferno TV, and eerily similar feel. You know, you feel like if U of A potentially gets one, they can maybe hang around and close things off defensively. And with how Olivia Sorley's playing, I mean, you get 1 or 2 goals, you could potentially ride that to the finish line. So how does ASU kind of keep their foot on the gas and keep the pressure on here going forward?
They got to keep getting shots on Sorley. I mean, that's what they've been doing, and they've been doing it well, but they got to keep going at it. They're going to get a lot more power play opportunities. This Arizona team is a very physical team. They're still getting their footings on. Of course, they're fresh off their expansion year. So I think just getting shots in the net, keep doing that, keep connecting in the power play, and keeping out of the box, because that is something Arizona did look good at. Their power play had some shots out there that looked pretty impressive. We'll see what they can do heading into the second period.
Second period coming up in just under 4 minutes time. Don't go anywhere. Kobe Bronstein and myself will have the call going forward. Chase, thanks so much for joining me here on the first intermission. We'll be back on the other side of the break with second period action here on Inferno TV. We're about ready for period number 2 here inside Mullett Arena between the Wildcats and Sun Devils. He's Kobe Bronstein. I'm Lachlan McTagg. You through all the action here on Inferno TV. Thank you so much for joining us here on this Sunday afternoon. Score after 20 minutes, 1-0 in favor of Arizona State.
It's been all Sun Devils. All Sun Devils outside of Olivia Sorley. She's the name we've brought up time in and time again because she's made such incredible saves, and obviously one on the board for Arizona State. It just came in really swift fashion on the second power play, and great goal by Brown for the Sun Devils. Gets them in the column for the first time tonight, and they're looking to continue to press the gas.
Puck is down here at center ice. A collision right away. Paige Ring down to the ice as Sam Murphy presses on the forecheck there against Glover. Glover rims it for Bridell. Now those two go down to the ice in the corner. Mentioned the physicality of both teams as Schultz has speed through the middle. Fires it just wide of the goal. Sun Devils again in their white uniforms, going from left to right this time. As dangerous chance out front. Bridell almost got her stick on that. Wildcats, blue jerseys, red pants, red helmets. Sam Murphy looked to be tripped. Arm stays down yet again. Now, boy, another potential call as stick got caught in the midsection of Schultz. She went down to the ice. Referee's really putting away the whistle here in the first minute of play of period number 2.
Physicality at an all-time high. You know already this rivalry matchup could have some tension between Arizona and Arizona State.
Got former players, former teammates on both sides as Bree Powell breaks it out into the Wildcat end, 1-on-5. We'll see what she can do. Nice little stop up. Had Label open in the slot momentarily, but now it's Coons for DeZane. DeZane backhands it down low. That's Davini. Davini races onto it. Carries it in the high slot, fires, and a glove save made by Olivia Sorley. A physical start here to period number 2. No animosity lost between these two teams.
No, I mean, from the opening faceoff, you saw a couple players go down, and I think a no-tripping call was made when an Arizona player collided skates with one of the Sun Devil players. I couldn't tell exactly who it was, but both got up okay, and another good start here for the Sun Devils maintaining control.
DeZane has all kinds of space. A mini screen set by Kylie Label. Bank down the ice. This is on the goal of Eatinger, and she sticks it for DeZane, who stops up below the goal line. Over to Coons. Coons up the middle. Costly turnover. Glove save made. Beautiful save by Quinn Eatinger. When they needed her most, she was there.
That really dangerous pass. You're always taught, don't really put anything in the middle in the defensive zone, and ASU a little risky that time on the pass, but standing tall once again. Eatinger, big time opportunity for Arizona to take advantage of a miscue and level the score.
Wildcats win it, circle it behind the goal. This will be too far for Jarvis. Music continues here in Mullett Arena momentarily. I believe the audio technician here had his soundboard malfunction pregame. Sounds like it's back. That's Evelyn Olsen, gets rubbed out near her own bench. Chase mentioned U of A being one of the most physically dominant teams here in not only the WWCHL, but of the teams that ASU will play this season. Games did get chippy last year as well. And why wouldn't they be in a State 48 rivalry? Madeline Kristoff now in her own end. Up as Olsen gets knocked to the ice. Kristoff breaks away, potential 3-on-2. Kristoff cuts to the middle, fire, save made in the breadbasket by Olivia Sorley. Another high danger chance for the Sun Devils, handled by the Wildcat goaltender.
Yeah, in the back there was an Arizona State player that was shielded off, but actually in the neutral zone and in the offensive zone, the team in white and maroon had more, or white and gold rather, had more players in their attacking zone, and it resulted in an odd man rush, but just couldn't take advantage.
This is banked and sent down the length of the ice. Streak wins the race. That'll come all the way back down into the U of A end for an icing. Almost 3 minutes gone here in period number 2. Wildcats have had the majority of the high danger chances to this point, Kobe. Face off to the right of Olivia Sorley. Liv Leavell in the dot for ASU. She wins it back cleanly to Draper. Draper sticked on goal. It's loose in the slot, but cleared away by U of A. Kelsey Olsen muscled off the puck there by Alana Glover. Now Glover gets it back behind her goal, trying to break out. Now dangerous chance out front. What a save! Rebound, they score! That's Sophie Sears, the freshman. Her first as a Sun Devil. It's 2-0 ASU.
Right place, right time. You get people crashing the net, good things happen. Couple of chances, once again, Sorley, goalie for Arizona, standing tough, and just at a certain point, too much pressure applied by Arizona State. They get on the board, and now they have a 2-goal brace. What a moment for the freshman.
DeZane takes it over. She goes for a skate. Up the middle, DeZane fires. Right pad save made by Sorley. Now DeZane checks Verderber into the wall. So Sears, first as a Sun Devil, makes it 2-0. Boy, they talk a lot in hockey, Kobe, about, your goaltender is there to make the first save. And she did, as here's Murphy. Gets her stick lifted, but she's still trying to go on goal and kick the puck to Kylie Brown. She could not. So ASU going back on the power play. already up a pair of goals. And oh, did I mention they scored on their last man advantage as well?
Yeah, and that was clear as day, that penalty. A clear hook that time from Arizona. And it looks like Lucy Verteber, defenseman from Massachusetts, heads to the box. And once again, Arizona State will be on the power play. But to what you were saying before, I mean, the Sun Devils have had so many opportunities. Sorley has only been able to do so much to stop the first chance. And then when you're continuing to apply pressure and people right on net, they have prime opportunities to put one home.
Powell, left circle, has space. Gobbled up by Sorley. So a big turning point potentially in this game here. You think if ASU potentially goes up 3, it might be a deficit that U of A cannot overcome.
And I think a turning point not converted was on the other end, that huge opportunity for Arizona when there was a turnover by the Sun Devils in their defensive zone.
Now off the outside of the glove there of Sorley, a great shot by Bree Powell. Broken stick on the ice for U of A, or not a broken stick, an errant stick. Down low for Label. Tries to jam it near post, could not get it. Great shoulder save by Sorley. Bree Powell fending off the check of Schultz. Down low, gets it back. Powell forgot the puck for a moment, but gets it back. Now down low, Powell looking for the return feed, but it goes back up top for Mara Draper. Great movement on this power play by the Sun Devils. Brown to Powell. Popped off her stick momentarily. Now Powell gets it back in neutral ice. Much needed clear for U of A, but they can't change any players yet. Again, that long change in the second period can be tough for penalty killers. Finally now, that's on the stick of Sophie Thompson. She clears at the length of the ice. A wholesale change for U of A.
Great job. Good individual effort by Sophie Thompson. She was able to get it out of the zone initially on the far side via a poke and then able to dump it down to the other side.
So here's Draper. She'll go for a skate now. Poked off as Davini. Costly turnover could have been bad as Carson fed Howell, but Davini is there to cover defensively. Banks it for Murphy. Get the puck and turn back. She's got tons of space now. Murphy cutting towards the middle. Sun Devils are onside. Murphy 1-on-4. Blocked by Pesca. That goes through the crease. No Sun Devils home to take advantage. Now Davini, little pirouette taken down the near side half wall. Arm stays down on the stick of Pesca and cleared the length of the ice. 10 seconds remaining in the power play for ASU. Verteber set to come back on the ice. Get things back to even strength for U of A. As Coons marches up ice, hits Burlmeyer. That hit her skate just like that. U of A's killed another penalty, I should say. A big point in this game of emphasis will be special teams. U of A capitalizing there. Kylie Brown or Davini. Brown had that up in her midsection, couldn't glove it down. Puck still stays in on the stick of Leavelle, poked away momentarily. It's a scramble at the Sun Devil blue line. U of A finally gets it out. Here's Jeffs. And behind, it's Hannah Coons. Good clear from her. Coons hits Kristoff. She's got tons of speed, but held up by Thompson. A lot of gamesmanship there on that, what could have been called interference. We mentioned the refs putting their whistles away for the most part today. Letting these two teams play. Nia Jarvis now. Good evasive maneuver. Near side Leavelle, she gets the red line and gets it in. She'll go for a change. Now Sophie Sears on Thompson. Thompson clears it around as far as Jarvis. She's on her forehand, walking towards the middle. Now pass down low for Kelsey Olsen. Pops the stick and gets it back for Burlmeyer.
Just not enough white jerseys right now in the offensive zone.
Sun Devils still completing changes as Kate Street comes off the bench. Her and Jarvis paired up here. A 2-on-3 battle on the far half wall. ASU somehow comes out with it. Shot wide of the goal by Jarvis. D-to-D, dangerous play. Puck bouncing around below the goal line. Sears has it. The most recent goal scorer for the Sun Devils cycles it back down low, and Sophie Thompson takes it. Now Jarvis cannot hold the line. She goes D-to-D for Kate Streak. Streak recycles this chance here for ASU. It's on the stick of Saarinen. She clears at the length of the ice. Jarvis is there, touches up, and that'll be an icing. U of A cannot change. Tired bodies out there. Sun Devils looking to take advantage.
I was just going to say that. It's almost like a win every time you get it out of your own defensive zone, but then when the puck goes all the way to the other end, you got to stay on the ice, as you mentioned earlier, an icing call, and those tired bodies got to continue to stay out there for now.
The long change can bite you here in the second period. We'll see if U of A can get a clutch clear, at least gain the red line and get it in for what is a much-needed wholesale change. Face-off controlled by Evelyn Olsen, cycled in the middle. No one home for the Sun Devils. Waxenberg gets the Sun Devil blue line, but it's turned over. 2-on-3 coming back the other way. Paige Bryan in the middle. Shot. Glove down by Olivia Sorley.
And right there in that sequence before for the Wildcats, at that point, once you get it out of your defensive zone, you want to be able to clear it, dump it into your own end, and get a full change. They still weren't able to get a full change. Only 2 players went off. There were 3 players out there for almost 2.5 minutes of ice time.
Brown off the draw, fires high glove. Flashing the leather is Sorley once again. Boy, ASU's been really good at running face-off plays, especially in their offensive end. Brown gets it again, now back up to Dezane. U of A, he was rushing the blue line with Carson there. Luckily able to get the shot off, it wasn't blocked now. Wildcats hold it below their goal line, off the glass as far as Paige Ring, but Coons keeps it in. Coons muscled off the puck momentarily. U of A looks to go the other way. Carson for Schultz, she can't knock that puck down. No icing on the play, Dezane retrieves for the Sun Devils. Backhand up the middle, turned over. Savannah Allen whiffed on that shot. She's got space now. Bridell puts it towards the net, blocked by Dezane. Brown cuts to the middle, turned over. Here's Savannah Allen, one-on-one with Coons. Allen's shot fired wide of the goal. Dezane for Ring. Puck pops off her stick as Murphy looks to get it out. Blocks it in her shin pads. Murphy pokes it ahead into her own bench. Tried to poke it by on a self-pass. She's out of gas. That line will go for a change. Kylie Brown was wide open on the near side of the ice.
Yeah, just trying to get it past the one defenseman and eventually off a Wildcat stick and into their own bench, so you get that face-off at center ice. For Arizona, they just got to continue to possess the puck for a longer period of time. They haven't been able to do that at all.
The credit to this forecheck is Saarinen down low. Or excuse me, that's Glover. Turned it over now. Sun Devils on the cycle in front. Now, Kylie Label has it on the half wall. Label turns it over at the blue line. Draper keeps it in. Davini there has space. Cuts back. Right shot on her backhand. Cycles it down low for Label. Label lets that puck go. Throws it out in front. Davini in the slot. Couldn't get a clean shot off. It was blocked on the way to the goal. Davini down low. Too far for Powell. Rimmed around. Kept in by Streak. Streak. Slap shot from the left point. That got blocked in front. Label spins away. Slicing through a pair of defenders. Label. Back to Powell. Powell cycles it. Nobody home for ASU. Looking down low for Davini. She was below the goal line. U of A clears this, however, all the way down the ice. It's coming all the way back. And again, some tired bodies for U of A right now on that ice surface, Kobe.
I mean, the only time they've been able to get it out of their defensive zone is icing the puck, but then, again, those tired bodies got to continue to stay out there for longer periods of time, and Arizona State continuing to apply pressure.
2-0 Sun Devils, almost halfway through this game here. Face-off controlled by ASU. It's Madeline Kristoff. Turns back on her backhand, cycles it in front, looking for Paige Bryan. Bryan possesses it now. Back up to the top. Down low by Ruby DeLise. DeLise listed as number 3 on the roster, wearing 16 out there today in white. Can be a little bit confusing for us broadcasters. Shot, save made by Eatinger. Now Howell shovels it on goal. A rebound in front. Eatinger is there to gobble it up and hold. 9.5 remaining, 2-0 ASU.
Yeah, interesting little sequence for the Wildcats there. Still not able to possess the puck for a long period of time, but most importantly, get something on net, and Eatinger there. 2-0 lead for the Sun Devils, 9:28 remaining in the second period. Face off in the left circle. Offensive zone for the Wildcats. Behind the net for the Sun Devils, looking to clear. They get it up ice, and then it gets past a couple of Wildcats into the other end. Now circling around with it is Thompson. Puck was on her backhand, loses it. A couple players fall down. And eventually a cross-ice pass, and they clear it. Now at the stick, they get it up the blue line now. Arizona State circling. Looking down low and continuing to try to dump and chase. Two Sun Devils there, now two Wildcats here on the near side half wall. Wildcats continue to ring it around. Now it gets up to the point. And they dump it back down. Now controlled by the Sun Devils. Getting it up to the right point. Good blocker save by Sorley. She's continued to stay strong and be a stalwart. Now possessed by Thompson, slaps it around, but Arizona State continues to keep it in. Once again, a long time in the offensive zone. It will continue to stay in. Brady tried to get it out, but couldn't. And another good save by Sorley on net. Looking towards goal, they get it out in front. And Sorley is able to get it. There's 7:40 remaining, still 2-0 Devils. And once again, so much control in their offensive zone.
Yeah, and a great keep on the far side of the blue line by Hannah Coons. That was rimmed around with a lot of pace by Thompson for the Wildcats, and Coons was able to keep that play alive. And boy, Sophie Sears has been all over it. She was low in the zone trying to find a pass and almost had it work out in front of the net.
Good poke that time from the Wildcats. They're able to dump it down. Now just a matter of can they continue to possess it. On the far side half wall, the puck goes back towards the near side. Dangerous pass towards the middle. Brydell briefly had it on her stick, and now possessed by Murphy. Trying to get it up ice, but once again in the middle, shot on goal just a little bit wide. Trying to carry it out once again are the Sun Devils in their own defensive zone, a place that they haven't been in too much. Looked like the puck got over the blue line and dumped back in, but no call by the referee for offsides. Sun Devils now possessing it towards net, and a good glove save by Sorley.
Yeah, Sun Devil defensemen, oddly enough, have turned the puck over a lot in the middle of the ice. And one thing as a defenseman that you're taught, if you're not sure of that pass in the middle, you're never going to get penalized by a coach for going up the wall or going off the glass high and getting it out. Because a pass in the middle, we've seen a couple times, it's almost burned the Sun Devils.
Sun Devils once again win the faceoff, backhand ringed around. Towards the opposite side. Howell now possesses it, just a little soft pass to get it up and out of the zone. Good job by the Sun Devils shielding off a Wildcat, getting it up towards the middle of the ice. Now to the other side, looking to try to find Davini up there. And now back into the possession of the white and gold. Dump and chase action for Kylie Label. Wildcats looking to get it out of their own zone, but it'll continue to stay pressed up against the wall on the far side. Wildcats have the advantage there in that little scrum, and it looks like they'll get it out of the zone. Sun Devils get it in. Looks like what could have been a delayed offsides, they don't call it. Misplayed for Howell, but now in the center ice, neutral zone, ASU probing, and once again, not able to get it in their offensive zone, so they'll take it all the way back and create a little bit more time for themselves. Dezane with it. Now gets it over to Coons. Coons stick handling, trying to get it past a couple players. Through the blue line. Physicality on the near side with Hall. And now it goes to the far side where Chavastez is there. And for the Sun Devils, Kristoff also. Sun Devils go D to D. Weak backhand attempt to try to get it all the way down. Once again, the puck pressed up against the boards, and now a chase for it on the other side. ASU continuing to keep it in their offensive zone. Trying to block it, but unsuccessfully was Zoja Miller. Now it's Alana Main, but she misplays it. Sun Devils continue to keep it in their own zone, and Wildcats had an even better opportunity to get it out, but Sun Devils continuing to press forward, and it's the home side continuing to make changes, and the Wildcats with tired legs out there. Once again, now puck towards the middle of the zone. Can the Wildcats clear? No, they can't. Just a bouncing puck that's kept in that time by Coons. Coons stick handles, and the shot blocked. Getting it back towards the point. Possessing it was Olsen. She drops it back. Good glove save, and Sorley once again standing tall.
Boy, it's exhausting if you're a defenseman for U of A. You're trying everything, and nothing is working to just even get the puck out of your zone. I've been there time and time again where the forecheck just seems relentless. You can't clear it. It goes back below the goal line. Then you got to hustle back because you got a player right on your back, and you got to make a play when you're already out of gas. It's not easy to do, and boy, credit this ASU forecheck for really taking it to the Wildcats here in the second period.
Approaching 4 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the second period. 2-0 Sun Devils. 1 goal in each period so far. An odd man rush that time, but Wildcats not able to keep possession for long enough, but a turnover there. Now trying to get it in front of the net. Defenders doing a nice job. Kick save. And once again, deflected wide. Edinger had to make a couple of stops. Now on the far side half wall, a couple of players battling with it. The Sun Devils trying to get it out. Sun Devils have a little bit more time and able to connect with a pair of players. Miller now able to get it over to Kylie Brown. Brown scored the first goal of the season for the Sun Devils. And their lead is now doubled to 2. Wildcats once again can't get it out of their zone, but now they are able to. Rushing with the puck. On the near side is Kenzie Carson, native of Alberta, Canada. Now on the backhand of Maddie Kristoff. Now on her forehand, trying to rush up the ice with it. Getting it towards net, that's where you always can find opportunities, and good kick save by Sorley once again. Dump off the boards, little nifty pass through the legs that time for, that was Paige Ring. And they'll call offsides.
Sun Devils have had success at just getting pucks to the net, and when they've outnumbered the Wildcats, that's how Sophie Sears got her first goal. It was a great first save made by Sorley, but U of A unable to clear the remaining defenders, and that's how you're going to crack this U of A defense here if you want any more goals as insurance for ASU.
Devaney dumps it down and trying to look for somebody towards the middle of the net, but unable to converge. Kristoff gets it off to her other defenseman. Devaney was on the puck but couldn't corral it. Now on the near side, a couple players working. Kylie Label looking to maintain control. Now trying to get it over to Berelmeyer. Wildcats able to clear. And now all alone in her defensive zone is Maya Jarvis. Getting the puck over towards Sorley. Sorley just lightly taps it, sticks it away. Wildcats trying to break through. All white and gold. Here's a one-on-one chance opportunity. Not able to get a great attempt on it. Puck still loose in the middle of the net. Now it gets wide. It was Elena Glover that had the opportunity in front. Miller for the Wildcats not able to keep it on her stick. Sun Devils looking to clear. Dzane back there as well as Biermeyer. They've been on the ice for a long time. Puck loose out in front. Good blocker save that time. Still danger here for the Sun Devils. Looking to clear. Gets on the puck. Another great save that time from Edinger.
I'm not sure if that had Edinger or Georgia Dzane in front.
2-on-1 opportunity. Under a minute to go, and a good block back there from Pesca.
It's the zone time U of A have been looking for all game long. Finally, they get it.
Puck loose out in front and stopped by Sorley. A little bit of pushing and shoving on the side of Sorley. Physicality has been there from both sides all game. And the Wildcats have done a little bit better of trying to create opportunities of their own. Haven't been able to slot one home just yet.
Best chance was back the other way. They had numerous chances on goal, including Brittany Brydell, who just chipped one wide of the net of Eatinger.
Brydell, the former Sun Devil, she's on the ice. Trying to rush at the defenseman there, right into the glove of Sorley once more. It was wristed in.
One thing ASU hasn't done a lot of, they haven't got a lot of traffic in front of Sorley tonight, or I should say this afternoon. She's been seeing a lot of shots clearly, and as a goaltender, I mean, that's your dream. Doesn't matter how many shots are on goal. If you can see them all, you're going to stop most of them.
Absolutely, and she has done that all night. Almost 40 shots attempted from the Sun Devils as Wildcats look to rush the puck up. Now on the opposite side. Pair of players in white and gold, under 5 seconds to go here in the second period. Looking to get it up ice in their defensive zone, and 000s hit the clock. Sun Devils maintain a 2-0 advantage, and the Wildcats had perhaps their most opportunities on offense and not able to be successful with any of them. Interesting to see the numbers of how many shots that the Sun Devils have, because a lot more than double than the Arizona Wildcats. And once again, a great job from Olivia Sorley, keeping close to 98% of the shots not in the net. And the Wildcats lead 2-0. What are your thoughts after watching the last 10 minutes or so of action?
Yeah, it was kind of a tale of two halves, wasn't it? ASU came out of the gate strong. They dominated that first half of the first period, getting yet another goal. Sophie Sears, her first as a Sun Devil, and they were relentless on the forecheck, but U of A was good in their own defensive zone as well. They blocked a lot of shots. They kept ASU to the outside for the most part, which is a good sign for U of A. That's what they can build upon, and they were generating chances in that second half of the second period here. They got a lot of good opportunities on goal, some great A's as well, that just couldn't get converted. So, you think one of those goes in, and it's a completely different hockey game, but it's encouraging for U of A that they're able to generate chances and they're able to fend off the relentless waves of attack and forechecking pressure that the Sun Devils have thrown at them for 40 minutes.
Eatinger right now maintaining a clean sheet and a shutout. 0 in the column of the Wildcats and 2 for the Sun Devils. 1 in the first and 1 in the second period. So we'll head to a little intermission, as do the players, and Zamboni out on the ice. Arizona State in full control, their home opener in their 10th season as a program. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the second intermission. It's Arizona State 2 and the Arizona Wildcats 0. I'm Kobe Bronstein alongside Chase Beardsley for this edition of the second intermission talk on Inferno TV. And Chase, what did you like to see what did you see that you liked from the Sun Devils in the second period?
Yeah, I mean, I think they continued what they did well in the first, which is get a lot of shots on net. You saw them test Sorley a lot. You saw the Cameron Davini line go out there a lot, which I think is a way of Lindsay Ellis, the head coach, saying, hey, we want to see how you can play against, we'll say a weaker opponent than teams like Maryville and other teams in Nodak and all that they're going to face in a couple of weeks. And I think that's huge for those lines, because that tests their confidence. A lot of these players haven't played an ACHA team or game before, especially on the top 6, but you have Cameron Davini, who's a junior transfer from NCAA D3. So I think getting her adjusted to the type of play in the ACHA is huge. And I think you saw a lot of that in the second period.
There's a lot of physicality as well, and it's not like it's necessarily chippy, and there haven't been a lot of penalties called either. So how much have you seen the physicality coming from the Arizona side, but Arizona State has made the most of some of the power play opportunities. That's how they converted on their first goal.
Yeah, Arizona is extremely physical, I think, in that period. I think more physical than the first period. Oddly enough, I think if you look at the games in Tucson last year where ASU finished out with the sweep down there, I think those games were actually more physical. Maybe we haven't seen that yet from Arizona. Maybe they're just an improved team offensively, and they're kind of focusing on that. But they were pretty physical out there, and ASU did a good job not really instigating it and getting back in the box, which is really good because you want to obviously stay strength, and they got a lot of power play opportunities because of that. I think getting more shots in the power play would be awesome for them. I think any team in the power play would love that. But I think they're doing a good job not really responding to the physicality that Arizona's giving them.
I want to get another word too because it's the 10th year of Arizona State women's hockey, and over your last couple years being involved with the program, how much have you seen it evolve?
Oh man, it's been crazy. I remember in my first year, you had barely enough players to play, and even before that, you barely had enough players to play. But this program has evolved to the point where you're now seeing players from the NCAA transfer over, like Cameron Devini. You have players that have gotten NCAA offers, like Kylie Brown, come onto the program. It's huge. I think us playing at Mullett is massive because it shows the program has enough, a lot of empathy and a lot to their name, to the point where they can play at Mullett now twice in 2 weeks. I think that's massive. And 3 straight national tournament appearances, their first 3 in program history, and we'll see where that goes. But I think that's a strong past couple years for Lindsay Ellis and her team.
Arizona State off to a strong start, 2-0 here in the second intermission. Third period on the other side. Chase, thanks so much for joining us here on these 2 intermission shows. We'll be back in just a little bit. Welcome back to Mullett Arena. The second intermission has come and gone, and in a matchup between the Arizona Wildcats and the Arizona State Sun Devils, just 20 minutes remain in the opening game for Sun Devil women's hockey. I'm Kobe Bronstein alongside Lachlan McTagg, and Lachlan is kind of, as we mentioned, heading into the second intermission, a tale of 2 different 10-minute frames in terms of the Sun Devils taking full advantage in that first 10 minutes, and the Wildcats having some opportunities, some of their best of the game, but just not being able to convert on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and a resilient effort from U of A. They were dead tired in that first half of the first period, was struggling to get the puck out of their own end, icing it, failing to get changes, but somehow bouncing back and getting a lot of grade A opportunities in on goal. So credit to them here in the second half of that second period.
Murphy and the Devils won the draw. Now a couple players battling it out on the near half boards. Kenzie Carson over there for Arizona, continuing to possess the puck. Now getting it over to Brydell. Now Schultz wristing it to the other side. Draper was there with Streak and trying to clear. Wildcats hanging tough early. And taking it around is the captain, Cam Murphy. Almost had a huge opportunity to score in the second, trying to go coast to coast. Trying to get a little wrister on, and hits the skates that time of Verderber. Continuing to possess it, now trying to shield off a Wildcat. On the opposite side is Paige Ring. Ring trying to keep it in. She's not able to, but a player there to back her up on the right point. On the near side, trying to stick handle through a Wildcat player, unable to. Big collision right at center ice. Wildcats once again able to possess the puck right over the net that time of Eatinger. Eatinger in the last 10 minutes had been more tested in that period of time than any other in the game. Wristing it out that time successfully was Dezane. And right next to the goal of Sorley. She didn't want any danger out in front. How good has she been all game? Obviously extremely busy, and just 2 goals for the Sun Devils, able to keep her team somewhat in this.
Yeah, absolutely, and sometimes that's a good thing for goalies. Obviously, you don't want your goaltender to be too overworked in a game, but a consistent flow of shots can get a goalie in a good frame of mind, and she's seeing the puck really well, and a credit to her defense for not allowing much traffic, I should say, out front of her to potentially have tips or deflection or screens.
Davini on her backhand. There was a hit right behind the net. Trying to continue to keep it in was Laybolt. Laybolt takes a spill. Now behind the net was Powell. Powell going all the way up to the right point, but then dumping it back down. Now at the stick of Davini, trying to get it out in front. Nobody there. And onto the stick of Kristoff. Kristoff looking out in front, deflection wide. Arizona looking to keep it out, but a couple weak attempts. It stays in. Now on the stick of Powell, trying to shield off Thompson, unable to, and it gets out of the zone. So a little break for Arizona. Good cross-ice pass. 2-on-2 opportunity for the Devils. At the stick of Powell. Powell not able to get it on ice, or on net rather. Over the left point and blocked by Arizona. Potential 2-on-1, but nice job from Streak, able to keep it in front of her. Arizona State possessing it once again. Now into the stick of Bridell, wristing it around the other side. And cross ice for nobody, but up the ice at that for Arizona. And now to the near side, avoiding a collision with Rylan Pesca. Now taking it around the other side, Layla Schultz. Schultz was in the penalty box for a cross-check early on. That was the penalty where the Sun Devils were able to converge on the power play. 2-0 Sun Devils, 16:45 remaining here in the third period. Sun Devils go D to D. They wrist it to the other side, trying to get a deflection on net. Puck still loose and stick to side that time. Now a scrum for it on the half wall towards the far side. Possessed on the backhand of Paige Bryan. In a collision and wisely dumping it out of the defensive zone were the Wildcats. Good job steering it away was Streak. She's been on the ice for a long time. Looking for a rush all the way up ice. Shot on goal and into the glove of Sorley.
Well, you mentioned it, Kate Streak, a long shift for the defenseman, but it didn't stop her there. She had tons of speed going back. Just flipped her feet. She was on her forehand, just flips the feet quick, goes to the backhand, evades a defender. And when you got that much speed on the back check and you turn that quickly, you're going to have a lot of momentum up ice, and good job by her to go end to end.
And an even better job by Sorley to glove that one down. The Sun Devils won the face-off, but not able to get a shot on goal. 3-on-2 opportunity. They dump it in and elect to chase. Brady right there, continuing to possess it, but two Sun Devils right there in the white and gold. They get the shot on net. Blocker save that time from Edinger. No real damage on net. Trying to wrist it out, they do. Kelsey Olsen was there, and then Brady elects to dump down and change for the Wildcats. They do that with all five. And they get fresh legs on the ice. Trying to carry it up in the defensive zone is Coons. And she was met by a Wildcat, and they go D to D in their defensive half, saucing it all the way up. Whiffing, but maintaining possession was Coons. Now all the way down towards the net, dangerous. Edinger able to stick it away, now behind the net. Getting it out towards the middle, another blocker save. Trying to get it out, but running into a couple bodies that time. Here's the captain, Sam Murphy, trying to shield off a defender. Nice stick handling move, gets it up cross ice, but a little bit too far for her teammate Sophie Sears with her first goal as an Arizona State Sun Devil, which was the second goal and a huge brace in this one. 14:37 remaining in the third period. Puck at the stick of Anna Jeffs. Lost it though for a moment. Now battling on the near side is one of the players that had to change her number before the game, Ruby DeLees. Controlled by Arizona, and a good shot on goal, but stopped by Edinger.
Credit to the Arizona State Sun Devils. Yeah, the chances are there for U of A on potential odd man rushes, but it's sticks in very good areas and lanes of the ice, making it nearly impossible. These passes have to be absolutely perfect from U of A to get a good shot on goal, and it was there, but again, we saw a great A in the slot. Edinger is there to make yet another terrific save.
Schultz and Powell dueling in the circle, and it was Arizona that won the face-off, not able to do much with it. They get it back in the zone. Referee says no offsides. Battling with it was Carson. She was being shielded towards the boards by Draper. Puck out in front, just Sticked away, another opportunity with the puck loose, and another great stop by Eatinger. Pesca going after it. A streak that took a spill, able to get back to her feet. Good stick work behind the net that time by Draper. Draper's been out there for a while, almost lost it. She does lose it. And Brady able to get a shot on net, easily corralled by Eatinger.
Boy, bad puck luck there for Mara Draper. She had all kinds of time on her forehand going up her strong side. She was going to feed an outlet up the middle to what looked like Bree Powell streaking through the zone, but the puck just bobbled, bounced over her stick, and that allowed for U of A to have a pretty good shot on goal.
Miller for the Wildcats in the circle. Not able to win the draw, but they continue to maintain possession in their offensive zone. Ringing it around for Brady now. Wildcats will look to backtrack. Almost a 2-on-1. They're able to get it up ice. An opportunity for the Sun Devils, a little wraparound, but nobody home in the middle. And a slap shot sticked away. Rather a pad save that time from Sorley. Sorley approaching 40 saves. Remarkable night for her. Trying to get it to the stick of Paige Bryan. Eventually gets out of the zone and back to the stick of DeZane. DeZane gets it up ice. Trying to get it up and around an Arizona Wildcat. Now over to Brady. 1-on-2 opportunity, gets it over to her backhand, but loses the angle. And eventually turns it over. Just not enough of her teammates in blue and red. Was at the feet and the stick of Evelyn Olsen, the other player that changed her number before the game to number 6 instead of her usual number 12. Elects to go to the half dozen as the puck goes into the Arizona State, or rather Arizona bench area. 12:23 remaining. Sun Devils still on top. Arizona has had their fair share of opportunities, and Eatinger has been there to stop them at the door each time.
They're running out of time, though. You got to get one in the next couple minutes, or else you're asking a lot of your top players here to try and get 2 past Eatinger in the final, 10 or so minutes.
Puck in control of Arizona State, their defensive end, looking to probe, take their time, and make their way to the other end. Looking to go coast to coast now. Up into the offensive zone, getting it on net. Good blocker save by Sorley once more. Puck down on the half wall, still loose, looking out in front. Blocker save by Sorley. And eventually getting it out of the zone was Brydell, the former Sun Devil, trying to take it up, but more of her former teammates there in white and gold. Now controlled down low by the Sun Devils. Around their own net, almost got a little bit dangerous out in front. And eventually turning it over. A weak attempt by Pesca to get it up in their offensive zone. They clear, and the Sun Devils will get a full change. Not able to get it out again, getting it over towards the left point area. That was streaked there. It eventually gets away from her, no icing. At the stick of Murphy now. Murphy getting it to the other side. Cross-ice pass. 3-on-2 opportunity. Good shot on net. Rebound, nobody home. Another great stop by Sorley. Arizona State still pressing, but a great block that time from Chavastes. But not able to do much with it. It's not enough of her teammates there. Missing on an opportunity for Murphy, who comes off. Now Draper on the other side. Draper stick handling. Circles her way around. Now cross ice for Paige Ring. Ring towards the middle, but nobody there. Now towards the other side, Sun Devils changing, and change just in time to continue to possess the puck. Bouncing puck over to Sorley, and Sorley just freezes it. 10:02 remaining, third period. And it'll be a face-off in the offensive zone of the Sun Devils.
U of A just can't seem to stack any shifts here. They'll have one shift in the offensive zone where they get some pressure, and then they'll have 3 where they're kind of chasing the game a little bit. They're going to get back in this hockey game here, Kobe. They need to stack shifts. They need to have 2 or 3 consecutive lines maintain possession in the offensive zone of the Sun Devils. That's how you create momentum.
And Arizona State continuing to apply the pressure. It's not like they're playing playing with fear as opposed to no fear.
Yeah, they're not parking the bus, and that's the important thing. And I think that's a mindset that Lindsay Ellis has adopted. Is even if you're up 3-0, 4-0, you want to put your best foot forward at all times, and they certainly will do that. But you know, it helps having that 2-goal cushion. I think there might be a little bit more anxiety and nerves on the side of the Sun Devils if it was only a 1-goal game.
No doubt. They get it back in the offensive zone. A couple players chasing. Thompson there for Arizona, and it was Powell there also. They wristed up now to the forehand. Over to the left point, a couple bodies down on the ground. Sticks up in the air, good cross-ice pass, but the shot was too high the net. Oh, and a big hit behind the net. Taking a spill that time was Davini.
I'm shocked that wasn't called. That was a massive hit on the numbers behind the goal line.
Directly to her head area, but now the puck at her stick. With speed on the other side. She goes down, and the hand doesn't go up. Looked like she tripped on her own. Man, she's taken a couple of spills so far. And finally, after her long shift, she's going to go to the bench.
Davini, just a crazy sequence on that shift. You go from being wide open at the right circle, a seeing eye pass from the left point from Hannah Coons. Heck of a job of the defenseman to find her. A glove save made by Sorley, and then all of a sudden she's dumped on the ice and now has another chance in the offensive zone. She's back at the bench, getting a much-deserved rest.
Off the boards, but not out of the zone. Good block then by Layla Schultz. We've called her name a lot for the Wildcats. Little backhand up the ice. Trying to race all the way back for the Sun Devils defensively was Jarvis. Could have been a 2-on-1 for the Wildcats as another player takes a spill behind the net. Ruby DeLees bouncing puck up in front. Doesn't eventually get to Eatinger. Gets to that back line of the Sun Devil defense, but not quite out of the zone yet. Wristing it up. Trying to get it towards the middle, but not to Kenzie Carson. Carson now helps out her teammate in that little scrum, and not able to keep it in on the far side was Emily Chavastas. Selecting to take it behind their own net, but not before being met by a pair of Sun Devils. Miller there, a couple of Wildcats there, and they look to change. It's just Brady now that was chasing. The other 4 went to change. A whack from Olsen on the other side. Now at the stick of Streak, who rings it around. Gets it over her teammate Draper. Push to the other side. The Sun Devils doing a good job of making sure they have a clear opportunity of getting it up and over their defensive zone. They do. A couple players chasing. Back there that time for the Wildcats was Glover. A couple players take a spill. Sun Devils with time and space. Sophie Spears dumped it in. A cross-ice pass, usually dangerous in your defensive zone, but it works that time for the Wildcats. It was an odd man rush, couple players changing. Whenever it seems like the Wildcats have had the puck at their stick in their offensive zone, just not enough of their teammates there to help them out.
The Sun Devils have been swarming. They're a fast team. They play downhill all game long. And again, I mentioned those passes have to be crisp and they have to be perfect. ASU putting a ton of pressure on.
Brydell gets it back to Thompson, but not before Murphy was able to cut it off. And it gets all the way down. No icing, says the far side referee. Wildcats looking to get it up, and it will bounce outside of the blue line. Looking to go D to D was Coons. Getting it over to DeZane. DeZane over to ring, unsuccessfully, however, as the Wildcats once again dump it in and will change. Carson's right there for the Wildcats, able to deflect it, get it back to her stick. She took a spill, but no call made, and what are they going to call here? Yeah, they're going to call a penalty. It was a late call, but going to the box is Georgia DeZane, and they're going to get her for tripping. I didn't see the hand up necessarily. I just saw that the Sun Devils had control of the puck and the whistle was blown immediately.
Yeah, unfortunately for DeZane and the Sun Devils, that was right in front of that official, so a pretty easy call to be made there. But boy, it's been a while since we've had anyone in the box, but a big moment here. 6 minutes left. U of A has to score on this man advantage.
Sun Devils won the draw, but the puck blocked as they try to get it to the other end. Verdebeer gets it down. And the Wildcats continuing to probe. They get it D to D. Back over to Verdebeer. Verdebeer was in the box already with a penalty. Blocker saved that time by Eatinger. Looked like a pass opportunity, however. Puck out in front. Eatinger doesn't want to waste any other opportunity. Able to glove it down and freeze it. 5:32 remaining in the third. This period has flown by. 1:32, 28 seconds taken off the clock for this power play for the Wildcats.
And ASU's got to watch out here. Bridell is rushing down that far post side, and it's Schultz who's trying to feed her a cross crease pass. And if that's going to work out, those are arguably two of U of A's better offensive players. Obviously, Bridell leading the team in points to this far, but ASU's got to watch out for that cross seam pass was attempted a couple of times there on that last power play opportunity.
And they're going to get Bridell, it looks like.
Potentially an offside here.
Well, maybe a potential hook, but yep, they'll call an offside.
Body's been hitting the ice quite frequently tonight, so
Yes, they have.
for us, it's always we never know if anything's going to get called, because again, the rule book says no hitting in women's hockey, but there's been plenty of body contact here today. No love lost between these two sides.
It's been all Arizona State in their all-time series. Arizona, most importantly, looking to get on the board right now. Their biggest opportunity with 50 seconds left that Arizona State has to kill. Possession for the Wildcats. They get it over to Allen. Allen probing, taking her time, getting it over to the near side. Slap shot opportunity. Stopped and eventually into the glove of Eatinger. We have not seen a lot of one-timers. That's the first I feel like I've seen all game. And Eatinger was right there, able to gobble it up.
Yeah, and credit to Mara Draper, too. She was the bottom portion of that diamond formation on the penalty kill for ASU, clearing out any players in front. And that's the reason why Eatinger was able to stop that. She saw it so cleanly from that left circle.
Arizona State now 3 for 3 on draws in this penalty kill. And not only that, every time that they've dumped it down to the other end, they've been chasing. They've been continuing to swarm. That picture-perfect word that you used earlier, Lachlan, to describe that aggressive style and approach. 14 seconds left on the power play for Arizona. Just one shot attempt to show for it. They get it over to Bridell. She's been on the ice for a long time. And that shot wide. Trying to get it down low as the clock hits triple zeros. And out of the box and heading towards the bench. It looked like for a second she'll stay in the game, actually, as DeZane. And for the Sun Devils, just another positive and check mark you can make in terms of how they've been able to deal with adversity with penalties that they've had.
And the best chance of the game right there as well, at the tail end of that penalty, was Brittany Bridell alone on the goal mouth. And boy, that almost squeaked through the 5-hole of Eatinger. Wouldn't that have been something for the storylines of this game if Bridell was able to cut the lead in half for U of A? But you mentioned she was out on the ice a lot. Well, U of A's top point getters certainly are going to be seeing a lot of ice time here in the final 4 minutes. Just trying to get one. That's all they're trying to do.
Trying to get one and coming towards the time in the game where you pull your goalie and you want an extra attacker. We'll see if that's what Arizona decides to do at one point. Almost give yourself a power play, 6-on-5. As
they need more sustained zone time to do that. ASU's been doing such a good job at clearing the puck out and attacking with speed the other way.
Once again, wasting no time was Eatinger. The puck just continues to bounce up and get right into her little area in the crease.
Quinn, she's not one to play the puck too many times, and I can respect that. You either got to be one or the other. You got to be active with your stick and play the puck to your defenseman all the time, or you just have to be content with holding the puck, forcing a face-off and trusting your centerman to win you a draw.
Yeah, whatever it is, you can't second guess. You have to be confident. Arizona State once again winning the draw. That's now 5 straight as Murphy goes to chase, and a big hit. We talked about the physicality on the far side. She got into it with Pesca for a second. And once again, a couple players go down. Just barely nudging it in, but then tapping it outside the zone that time was Grace McKeague out of Hamilton, Ontario. And the Sun Devils won't mind wasting time. They did a little bit of that puck wasting by Hannah Coons on the far side, but now it's at the stick of Ring, getting it to the opposite side, but not able to get it onto the stick of Brown. Brown and Spears with the goals for Arizona State in the first and second periods, respectively. They get the puck up ice, and once again stopped by Sorley. When was the last time we said that? We haven't said that in a long time, and she probably has about 40. We have to wait for the official count at the end of the game, but man, she has been just a brick wall, but it looks like at this point of the game it won't be enough.
Yeah, unless something drastic changes here for U of A, it's that time where you kind of need a few lucky bounces, and ASU's played well enough where they haven't really afforded U of A enough puck luck to potentially get those bounces to go their way.
Good cross-ice pass, prime opportunity, and wristed and sticked away by Sorley. Arizona State keeping it in. If Arizona wants an extra attacker, they have to get it out of their defensive zone. Bridell right there. Bridell now on her backhand, looking to get it up ice. The puck at her feet, missing her stick, and then on the opposite side, Schultz able to get it down. No sign yet to try to pull the goalie. 2:15 remaining in this one.
Again, they can't pull it because ASU just continues to counterattack and get pucks out of their own end. It's got to be very frustrating for U of A's coaching staff.
Just not being able to possess the puck long enough in your offensive zone at all throughout the game. That's been a theme. Could have been a potential interference opportunity, I thought, but to no avail. Waxenberg getting the puck up, but not all the way down to dump it.
You're at a point here, if you're the officials, where you've let so much go that the next call is going to be questionable regardless of the penalty and the severity.
Under a minute and 40 seconds to go, Arizona State they've done all game, mostly possess it in their own territory. Bouncing puck loose. Sorley able to get a stick on it and shove it aside. A couple of players trying to jar it loose. And eventually into the stands. A souvenir for a fan. 1:19 on the third period clock. 2-0 Devils. Just no signs of life offensively, and trying to squeak a goal or get on the board for the Wildcats.
And you just somehow catch this Sun Devil defense by surprise, but again, every defenseman for ASU has really quick feet and good sticks, and they've been doing that all afternoon long, making it nearly impossible to kind of catch them off guard or do anything surprising offensively.
The Wildcats heading down to their last breath, and once again not able to possess it in their defensive zone. Sun Devils go D to D, able to get it up and across. Up and over the blue line, 3-on-2 opportunity. Do the Sun Devils want to add another? Good stick work out in front, puck loose, and all the way down, sprawling on the ground is Sorley.
Kobe, it's plays like that. That's why U of A has been unable to pull their goaltender. Draper back to streak. She makes a nice little shimmy shake move, taps it ahead. You got a potential 3-on-2, and then Burrowmeyer 1-on-2 just cuts to the middle and gets a golden opportunity. They've been making plays, the Sun Devils have, like that all game long.
Perhaps none better than that, but Sorley able to get it aside. And taking a big whack was Sophie Spears. She was looking for her second. Arizona gets it all the way down. This should be an icing. Nobody touched it, and it will be. Just 35 seconds remain. Edinger in game number 1. That's all the time on the clock she has to kill to get her first win and what would be her first shutout of the season against a big-time rival. Puck out in front and glove down by Sorley. Not enough mustard on it behind the stick of Sophie Spears.
This fourth line for ASU has been excellent all afternoon long. It's been Sears, Leavell, and Olsen. They've been getting it done in the faceoff dot as well.
Wristed around in the backhand by Arizona. Carson, interestingly, gets it back into her own defensive zone as opposed to going up ice. But here they have a player, one-on-one opportunity, but just a little bit wide. That time was Carson. Under 10 seconds to go. And just looking at time waste. And what else should she do? Statement made from the Arizona State Sun Devils in game number 1 against their rival down south. They win it 2-0 in a shutout at Mullett Arena.
You know, Kobe, you said it earlier with less than a minute to go. You said the forbidden S word on air, so I'm glad for the Sun Devils and Quinn Eatinger and company to pitch a shutout and secure the victory here on home ice. But a great win for Arizona State. They played the right way all afternoon long. They had a few turnovers in their defensive zone that could have cost them, but when you got a goaltender like Quinn Eatinger, the senior from Chicago, one of the top goaltenders in the country each of the last couple of years, has backstopped them to nationals as well and put up some brilliant performances in her career as a Sun Devil. She has another one here today, and again, a statement made by ASU. Their first game of the season is a successful one and a lot to build on going forward.
A goal in the first period by Kylie Brown out of Bend, Oregon, a sophomore. Last year played 25 games for the Sun Devils, and then in her first ever collegiate hockey game, Sophie Spears able to get on the board and almost tacked on a second towards the end, and that ended up being the huge brace that not necessarily the Sun Devils needed, but they would have liked just in case Arizona got on the board. The game winner in the end really was that first goal from Kylie Brown. Just last thoughts before we exit this first cast as Arizona State gets in the win column. They're 1-for-1, and the Wildcats drop one after starting their season 3-1.
Yeah, U of A, they did enough at times, but they couldn't convert when they had to, and ASU played a really good game, suffocating on defense all around, and they get the win over their rival. And on the anniversary, 4-year anniversary of the inaugural game at Mullett Arena between ASU and GCU, ASU comes out victorious here once again in what is year 4 here at Mullett. But ASU not going to play another home game for another month. Kobe, November 7th is the next time they're here. They go on an East Coast swing to UMass in Rhode Island. Going to Dakota swing, playing teams like Minot State as well. So a lot of tough opponents, a lot of road trips, a lot of hotels, bus rides, plane rides, meals in fast food restaurants on the way for ASU before they finally return home next month.
I think it was really crucial for them to get their legs under them, play at home. Mullett Arena, just one of 2 games I was told that they're playing in this arena all summer long. What a privilege it is for them. And as you mentioned, they look to go on the road, and a statement they came out and made against their rival 2 hours down south, and the Arizona Wildcats. And it's the Sun Devils on top, 2-0. Goals by Kylie Brown in the first, and the freshman Sophie Spears in the second. Thanks of all of our really hardworking crew. Pierce, great job directing. He's a freshman. And Tanner Buck, great job on camera. Alongside Lachlan McTagg, I'm Kobe Bronstein saying good evening and good night from Mullett Arena. The Sun Devils on top, 2-0. They are 1-0 in their 10th year as a program.